Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. Let me just put the disclaimers there. There they are on the top left hand side of the screen. Please read them. If you need to pause the video to read them, then by all means do that. Now you'll see down here there are a couple of email addresses. You've got Becky@tradewithufos and support@tradewithufos. So you can email us on either one of those if you have questions about anything that we cover. Now the 3D market commentary is a video that we do every day to complement an email that we send out every day to our free members. And now that email covers statistics and probabilities in the markets, and we look at three major areas, which is why we call it a 3D market commentary. Now, before I take you to that, let me just take you to this link here, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. Now, this link here, or from this link here, you can get different apps and platforms, some of which are free. You can scroll down and you can book one-on-one coaching if you'd like. And if you scroll down a little bit further, you can log in for free and then you can post questions in this area. Ideally, that's where you go to post questions because it means other people can see the questions and the answers. So we can answer them here too. Kind of becomes a frequently asked questions section. What that means is you can scroll down and see what other people have asked and you might get the answer from that. Or you might be doing somebody else that favor by doing that. So hopefully that makes sense as a place to go for your questions. So let's bring up that email. That's what it looks like. And it's of course relevant to market data. So in fact, what I'm going to do is just move it over a little bit because we want to see more of the charts. And we'll go through what it is that we're going to cover. So the three elements that we look at in our 3D approach when we're thinking about the markets and the statistical likelihoods and things like that. First things first is understanding market climate. Market climate essentially means in which direction is that market likely to go? Is it likely to go up? Is it likely to go down? Or does it not really have probabilities either way? So we'll look at that per market, and what we'll do to look at it is use our Auto Climate app. Now, Auto Climate is a free app on most platforms you can get it on. And what Auto Climate does is it tells us where the probabilities lie. So if we ignore the lines and look at the dots, if we had a thick blue dot, that would tell us probabilities upwards. If we had a thick red dot, that tells us probabilities downwards. If we had a thin dot of either colour, that tells us probabilities neither way. So we're going to look at that per market to see where the probabilities lie. Then we'll look at buy and sell UFOs. UFOs in this case stands for unfilled orders. But essentially what it means is we want to know where the buy orders are and where the sell orders are. Where are the buyers? Where are the sellers? That's helpful to know because buyers are likely to push the price up. Sellers are likely to push the price down. So if we have an understanding of where they are, gives us an idea of where we should be buying and selling. Now we use an app called Auto UFOs. And if it shows us these little green UFOs with the prices on the right hand side, that shows us where the buyers are. If it shows us these little red UFOs with the prices on the right hand side, those show us where the sell orders are. So we'll look at buy and sell orders per market as well. And then we'll look at market volatility, which is how quickly we would expect these markets to move. Now, everything we're looking at is on a daily time frame. Of course, different things happen on different time frames. What we're talking about here is all relevant and relative to the daily time frame. Starting with the S&P 500, which we have in front of us here. So if we just scroll down on the document there so we can see the reference from the email we send out. So at the moment, on the S&P 500, the top 500 US stocks, we have a thin dot on our auto climate telling us we don't have enough probability either way. This market doesn't know what it's doing yet. Now we do have buyers here between 4532.5 to 4438.5, and we have sellers here between 4671.75 to 4606. Now they're very close to each other, you'll notice. So prices here, two different colors. Sellers start here, buyers start here. So we're very, very, very close to what's going on there. Now what that means is if price were to move up and hit the sellers, we'd expect the sellers to push price down. If price was to move down and hit the buyers, we'd expect buyers to push price up. But again, they're close to each other. So what that tells us is that around this point in time, there's a bit of a fight going on between the buyers and sellers. Whoever has the most orders will win. We'll keep out of it for now. For me, if we don't have clear probabilities in one direction or the other, there's kind of no point in getting involved. Now, in terms of volatility, we would expect that the S&P 500 would go up or down in 1 year by 20.75%. So in a day, that's 59.74 points. In a week, it's 131.51 points. And in a month, 273.76 points. That's the S&P 500, top 500 US stocks, looking at each of those probabilities. Now we'll move on to the next market, which is oil. So let's bring oil up. So with oil, we have sellers for the first time in a while on oil. So let's take a look at this. So with oil, we have a thick blue dot, probability upwards. Now, we have surpassed what is normal in terms of a move to the upside. So we've gone further than what would be a usual move upwards. So we've got probability up, but not as many as we'd like, or not as much as we'd like. We also have buyers very close below us, between 89.72 to 86.2. We also have sellers that we are within right now, literally just hit, between 93.17 to 90.73. So what we have, probability up coming from the UFO, probability up coming from the climate, probability down coming from the sellers, and probability down coming from the fact that the climate is overextended. We've gone too far upwards based on usual activity. So again, we've got this fight going on. We've got two forces competing at about the same price. No point getting involved in that fight. Let whoever will win, clear a path one way or the other, and then we can go from there. Now, before I move on, just to point your attention up here to the different courses that we offer. We do courses in futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans, and psychology. Most of our courses come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps. So AutoClimate is a free app on most platforms you can use it on. Auto UFOs, it's a paid for monthly subscription. Depends on which platform you use as to how much it costs. Now, you don't have to do a course in order to use the apps. You can subscribe to AutoClimate by itself. You can subscribe to Auto UFOs by themselves. You can just subscribe by clicking that button or going to our website. Saying that, most of the time, getting a course and getting 3 months complimentary access to the UFOs is cheaper than if you were to just go with the UFOs. So check that out and see what works best for you. Okay, moving on to the next market, which is going to be gold. So with gold, let me squish it. I think we must have sellers. There we go. Quite far above us. There we go. So with gold, we have a confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot, probability upwards. We have buyers just beneath us, between 1829.9 to 1816, and we've got quite a way to go before we hit sellers up here at 1962.5 to 1938.4. Overall there, clear probabilities to the upside with gold. Now, just to clarify what I mean there, when we say clear probabilities or more probabilities or higher statistical likelihood, whatever, we're not saying it's definite. Nothing's definite in life, definitely not in the markets. No one knows 100% what's going to happen. But as traders, we want to make sure that we take action and we place trades based on probabilities and statistics. You might add more layers on top of this, and in either case, we manage our risk just in case we're wrong. So with gold at the moment, probability upwards. Not to say it 100% will, but more likely to. Now, when it comes to volatility for gold, we would expect a movement up or down in 1 year of 15.63%. So in a day, 18.06 points. In a week, 39.75 points. And in a month, 82.75 points, again, up or down. Okay, so the next market, actually, before I move on, sorry, just to highlight this here, we offer lots of coaching and support. We do have a closed coaching community, which gives people access to more features and live videos for a small monthly fee. But we also do a bunch of courses, or a bunch of, sessions, I should say, and support that are completely free on YouTube and Facebook and places like that. So check us out wherever it makes more sense for you to do so. Okay, US dollar is the next market. So the US dollar has a thick red dot. That is probability to the downside. Now we have buyers here. I'm having troubles with my mouse there. We have buyers here between 94.645 and 93.865. Now they've already worked in that price came down, hit the buyers and pushed price up from there. That's what we expect buyers to do, is push price upwards. That's why we want to know where they are. That's why we use this app. So we have buyers there. We have sellers up here between 97.44 and 97.05. Overall, we are closer to the buyers, but we still have room to move down. So overall, probability down here with the US dollar. Now, with market volatility on the US dollar, we would expect it to move up or down in 1 year by 6.87%. So in a day, 0.41 points, in a week, 0.91 points, and in a month, 1.89 points. Again, that's movements either up or down. So that's the US dollar. Last but not least is our bakkt Bitcoin. Now, as I load that, to point your attention down here towards our top trader platform. TOP stands for Predictive Options Planner. However, even if you don't trade options, if you use it for stocks or futures or even Forex analysis, it can be great to be used for different asset classes as well. Particularly valuable if you're an options trader. Okay, so bakkt Bitcoin. Just switch that out. There we go. We have a thick blue dot, probability upwards. Now, saying that, we have sellers above us that could change this. They are between 47,610 to 45,705. So we have probability upwards coming from the climate, probability downwards very shortly coming from these sellers. So similar situation to what we've seen before, in that we've got a bit of a fight going on. We want to make sure that we keep out of that, and we're only placing trades where we have more probability one side or the other. So for the time being on Bitcoin, I would say it's not that clear. In terms of volatility with Bitcoin, we would expect movement up or down within 1 year of 102.85%, which means in a day, up or down of 2,898.03 points. In a week, up or down of 6,379.72 points. And in a month, up or down of 13,280.44 points. So that is bakkt Bitcoin. Now, we've come to the end of our markets, and for each of our markets, what we've done is we've looked at 3 different elements that give us indications towards the probabilities. So we've looked at market climate, using the Auto Climate app to help us figure out where the probabilities lie. Did we have a thick blue dot and probability was up? Did we have a thick red dot and probability was down? Or did we have a thin dot of either colour and probability was neither way? So we looked at that per market. Then we looked at buy and sell UFOs. Where do we have buyers and sellers on the chart that could push price up or down respectively? And we looked for our auto UFOs to help us. The green ones showing us buyers, the red ones showing us sellers. We then looked at market volatility, which is how quickly we expect these markets to move, or more, how far we expect them to move within given periods of time. And we looked at a yearly move, a daily move, a weekly move, and a monthly move, again, either up or down. Now, the last thing to look at, now that we've looked at all those probabilities, is our weekly economic calendar. Not much going on this week. We get it from fxstreet.com, and we filter by high impact news. The reason we look at this is because we want to know which scheduled news reports might be creating some movement in the markets that we trade. So today being Thursday, we have some news coming out very shortly on US markets and the US dollar. And at 10 a.m. Eastern, we have, it's actually in Japan, it's National Foundation Day. So that might affect the yen or Japanese markets. So if you trade in those countries or trade those markets, be aware of that. Otherwise, guys, let me just bring you back up to tradewithufos.com/Becky, which I realise I've accidentally left that on the screen the whole time. But from here, you can get different apps and platforms. You can get coaching, You can log in for free and ask questions so that we can answer them there and other people can all learn from this space. So ideally, that's where you go for that. Otherwise, you can email me. Happy to always help with that as well. So today is Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow for another market commentary and a stock session. So I will see you tomorrow. Otherwise, guys, have a great rest of your trading day and see you soon. Bye-bye.